Hey everyone. I'm gonna do a bit of a different kind of video today. I'm just gonna show off one of the internal tools I built here at Gadget. Uh, We build tools for Gadget using Gadget all the time to handle things, and in this case, just like docs feedback. So I'm just gonna walk through a little bit of what I built, problem it solved, how I'm using Gadget to handle these kind of internal workflows, and how I'm using AI agents. In this case, it's gonna be Cursor Cloud agents to go ahead and solve a problem. In this case, it's our docs feedback. So if I actually just pop open our docs here, go to our random page, we have this little widget off to the side. Was this page helpful? Yes, no. I appreciate any and all yeses. I read them and feel warm and fuzzy inside. What I'm really looking to solve is when people have negative feedback, leave a comment, especially when there's a comment, because there's a problem that we know we can solve. So when people press submit, what this widget does is goes from docs.gadget.dev, feeds through BigQuery, and is surfaced in Redash. This pipeline existed. I just hooked into it. I did not build this. That's what we were already using, but it was a way for me to just see this data in a collection. Easy to spin up a Redash query. And the process was very much cool. I am going to go through this big collection of well, not big, but collection of feedback in Redash. There's not really any feedback loops. There's not a way for me to mark things as fixed. I just have to go through and try and memorize what's been solved and fixed. It was silly. Let's build an app for it. So that's what I did, is I built this docs feedback app. And initially, all I did, is build an app where I can mark things as fixed and at least track what the heck is going on in this little dashboard here. And recently, I kind of rebuilt the app. I'm not going to claim this to be the prettiest app in the world, but the old one was even fugglier. And so I rebuilt this app and actually added this additional agent loop. And so I want to add some docs automation or some automation to our docs updating process. And this is kind of step one. So what it does now is I've added an agent button in the UI that will actually kick off a Cursor Cloud agent using their API. And it will actually go ahead and spin up a branch in GitHub with proposed docs changes to address the feedback. And so how this works is if I am in here now, I haven't gone through, you can see only one thing is marked as fixed. I haven't actually gone through my whole collection and marked things as fixed that I have already addressed that is on my to-do list. And I probably should have done it before shooting the video, but here we are. And so I'm actually going to go ahead. You see there are a couple things where I've actually spun up branches already, and I just need to get to the feedback. But I can go ahead. I can take a peek. How do I call the route? I think this is one that I've actually already fixed, so I'm going to skip over it. Examples of input to connect models in our relationship docs. I'm just going to go ahead and try and find something decent here. There we go. This looks pretty decent. Making internal APIs calls from Gadget. They're wondering why api.internal.user.signup doesn't work. Now there is no internal signup action available. For those who don't know, Gadget apps have a public API where when you create your custom actions, which are like your serverless functions, we surface those as part of your public API. There's also an internal API. It's the closest thing you get to like a database level operation for writes especially. So this user was a little confused about, hey, like this, where is my, like, there's no sign up here. We do give like a writing raw data. So we do kind of mention this, but we do kind of have some ambiguity here where we go API internal model name verb. We don't specifically say that these are the only things available. So this could be something that we want to address. It's probably a small fix. Now, it's something I could fix manually. It is a pretty small one, but I'm just going to go ahead and instead I'll just kick off an agent job. And this is like a trivial example. This one will probably work pretty well, but I do want to kind of just show off how it works. And we'll go through a bit of the code. We don't need to go through line by line. This information powering this dashboard, you see there is now an agent. There will be a Git branch once the agent has done its thing. This information is being pulled from Redash, so I do just have a sync button right now. So let's take a quick peek at some of the code here. Do I have it open? I do not. Let's go. Docs, feedback manager, edit. And so it's pretty simple. Like your Gadget apps, you do have it is a full stack app in the box. So I've got my Postgres database, I've got my Node backend, serverless node. So you can see I do have my feedback data model. If I click on this, I'm just storing information that I'm pulling from Redash here. I am using a hash as a little cheat to do an upsert. I'll show that off in a bit. And then I'm storing information that comes back from what I call the Cursor Cloud Agent API. It's just links to the branch and agent that have been spun up. And let's take a quick peek. I do have just this global action for syncing from Redash. So if you're looking to pull information from Redash, make it a bit bigger maybe, it's literally just a single fetch call. I've got my Redash URL, my query ID, I'm passing my API key in, and I'm just getting the data, looping over the rows that have come back. Now I'm fetching all of the data on every single time I click that button. As you can see from the front end, like we've got internal tool, perhaps not as responsive as it could be. We're not overwhelmed with thousands of pieces of feedback. So because there's a low number, I'm fine to just let's fetch what we got, loop through everything. And I'm actually formatting things, and I'm using this Redash hash that I'm creating as an on clause. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm actually doing a bulk upsert. So this Redash hash, where I'm just taking some composite data of the timestamp, the comment, the page URL, hashing that to create a hash that I'm then using as kind of a unique key. So if this hash is not already in the database, the record will be updated. And in my case, it's just going to be updating the record with the exact same data. It is superfluous, but that's what's happening. Any new records will be created. So this is just an easy way to kind of pull the data from Redash right now. And then when I click that send to agent button, I've got this send to agent action. It's kind of similar. It's just a single API call, which is pretty groovy. Like I'm able to add automation with just a single API call to kick off an agent. And all I'm doing is getting my GitHub repo information. I've got a Cursor API key, my default branch. I'm also notifying myself in Slack. I could probably get the agent to do this as well, but right now I'm doing it manually. And I'm just putting together a branch name in this case, because it is my production environment. It'll be docs/feedback/ whatever the ID of the record of the feedback is in my Gadget app. And I'm putting together a prompt. I'm saying hey, fix these docs, giving it a bit of feedback, including I've got the page URL, the actual feedback, my docs version, what the actual comment and sentiment is. And then we do have docs standards marked down and some rules for these in our documentation project that my agent can reference. And I'm also passing in my router file so that it can map the page URL back to an actual file in my repo and just make it dead simple for the agent. And then it's hey, apply these. The one thing I haven't quite got it to nail yet is use links to existing docs before writing new docs. There's probably an update I need to make to our standards or something like that. It does an okay job, but it really leans towards oh, I'm just gonna write new docs. And a lot of times we're just missing links or a little call out with a link to something new. And then we're just kicking off. This is just using the Cloud Agents API. We're just kicking this off, firing off this agent prompt. I am not creating a PR automatically. And then I'm updating my feedback with the response here. This is my feedback record, and just notifying myself in Slack. I'm actually notifying everyone in Slack that's going to our documentation channel, which may or may not be annoying for everyone else in the company. We'll see. I think it's fine for now. And so let's go back to my app. I'm assuming this is probably, if I take a peek at the agent. Cool. So did some stuff, added some docs, added a section on when to use the public API instead, which is calling out things like sign up, sign out, actions with side effects, complex validation, custom runner on success functions. So this is all good information that may not be in our documentation. And then it's adding this as a warning call out as well. It's probably overkill to include both of these things. We probably don't need all of this. And in fact, what it perhaps is not mentioning is that the internal API isn't even available for some of these things. So it's gone ahead, and what it's done is it's found the right place in the docs to add this new information, and it's gone ahead and drafted some things. And then this is a very human in the loop process where it's not completely automated. I'm going to go ahead and pick up this branch. I'm going to change a bunch of this, and then we'll push it, and our docs will be updated. So that's kind of what we're doing. I just wanted to share that you can build these kind of internal tools. Like this took maybe a day to put together, full stack app, and it's hosted and live, and the whole Gadget team can access it and use it. There are a couple of things that I'd like to do. Wire up GitHub and Linear for new docs creation. We're actually probably, I did poke at this a little bit already. We're actually probably just going to wire up a GitHub action that we can leave a comment in a PR. We're still playing with that a little bit. It might not even be hooked up to this app, but there's some way we want to automate new docs, especially API reference docs that Cursor and agents can do a really good job of generating. And pulling in this linear context is important, I think, for guide information. So that's something I'm still toying with. And then when I've actually merged the branches that I have created with my app, with my feedback here in the agent, I need to go ahead and actually like listen to GitHub webhooks and be like, hey, cool, I solved this problem. Let's mark it as fixed here. Right now it's very manual. Like I have to come and click this fix button once I've merged the PR. Just a bit of a pain in the butt. And maybe that makes the case for like, ooh, I need to add a search bar here and enter, just be able to search by the branch name, perhaps, something like that. Which would be easy to do in Gadget, right? Like if I just need to go to my feedback model, go to my schema. I've already got my branch name. I can index it for search. We've already got Elasticsearch built in. So I do that, and all of a sudden I can just build a little search query bar in my front end, or get Cursor or Claude to build a little query bar in my front end, and then I'm good to go. So I just want to share that. These are the kind of internal tools that we're building. We're building a ton of them here at Gadget. I'll probably keep sharing how we're building some of these tools. If there is interest, I can actually, I don't think there's no sensitive information here, but maybe once I've got the GitHub webhook working, I can provide a forkable link for this app. If you are interested, just let me know. I'm happy to provide what I've got here. But I did just want to show off what we're doing and how you can use Gadget to build these internal tools. And once again, because I'm building on cloud infrastructure, because we have the APIs that are sitting in front of all the infrastructure I need, whether that's Elasticsearch, the auto-generated CRUD API, or if you need background actions, I'm not using them here, but it is included. It just makes it really quick to spin these things up and dispatch cloud agents for automating workflows, which is pretty groovy. If you have any questions, let me know. Always happy to answer. You can hop in our Discord and chat with me if there's any internal tools that you're like interested in seeing that you have use for. We have a ton of these in Gadget. I'm just going to start to share them more, but I'm always happy to build something for you as well. So let me know. And until next time, I hope you keep building more and coding less with Gadget.